With the Gamma Draconis system secure, a task force of Terran and Vasudan scientists is now examining the subspace portal. At this point, the scientists have ruled out the possibility the device is of Shivan origin. Dr. Mina Hargrove, leader of the research team, has issued a report of its preliminary findings. An excerpt of this report follows.
The subspace portal is unlike any Shivan construction we have yet encountered. Though Shivans demonstrate considerable diversity as a species, all Shivan technology possesses certain distinctive properties. None is present in the subspace device, which means we must look elsewhere for the portal's origin. We do know that the device is very, very old, on the order of several thousand years.
The field generated by the interlocking movement of the portal's components creates a subspace vortex, connecting one part of the universe to another. Dr. Hargrove theorizes that whoever built this device may have used it to stabilize a jump node on the verge of collapse. If Dr. Hargrove is correct, this technology is a tremendous discovery. By constructing our own portal, we might be able to reopen the Sol jump node in Delta Serpentis. Since the destruction of the Lucifer caused the node to collapse 32 years ago, Earth has remained isolated from the GTVA. We might also be able to stabilize subspace nodes that are currently too volatile for travel, thus creating routes to systems previously unexplored. Our military operation will focus on what lies on the other side of the subspace portal. Must determine where the node leads and the extent of the Shivan presence there. Above all, we must prevent the Shivans from returning to Gamma Draconis. Because the portal will remain active while the research team studies the technology, our systems are vulnerable to attack. Allied Command has deemed this an acceptable risk given the potential benefits.
At 1540 hours, the GTD Aquitaine entered the subspace portal in Gamma Draconis and jumped to our current position. We have entered a nebula, a vast and dense ionized field, and possibly the remnant of a supernova. We have traveled farther than any Terrans in the history of subspace travel. The nebula has severely limited the Aquitaine's long-range sensors. We are deploying our fighter wings to explore the immediate vicinity and determine the extent of the enemy presence. Each fighter squadron will deploy a flight of 4 wings. Alpha, Zeta, Iota, and Kappa will patrol a series of 4 waypoints. Zeta Wing will lead this sortie, so follow Zeta 1 and do not stray. Be advised the nebula could interfere with your onboard systems. The ionized field will compromise your sensors, even within combat range.
Why is the phrase bad, 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 terrible, awful, hideous idea going through my head at the moment? It's the Shivans who are out there, Command. You know, the ones who destroyed Vasuda Prime, the ones who had the pretty much invulnerable destroyer, the ones who almost destroyed Earth. Them. Why?
Iota Wing, you are cleared to take off. Kappa Wing, you have clearance. Zeta Wing, go. Alpha Wing, go.
Oh, and to make things even better, we're pretty much flying in blue and purple pea soup. This is not going to make things any easier for us. I just don't know what we're doing out here. Maybe secure the immediate area beyond it, but why are we even thinking about making this long term?
Alpha, form up on Zeta. Follow Zeta 1's lead to the waypoints.
Okay, Alpha, target my fighter and try to keep up. Boost your engine power and be ready to hit your burners because we're gonna get through this one fast and clean.
Good luck, pilots. Keep a tight formation and look out for each other. Let's all get home alive.
Yes, because that's what happens in these games, of course. I mean, what happened 32 years ago obviously didn't.
How are we supposed to get a visual confirmation? I can't see a thing in this mess.
Rather be fighting the NTF if you ask me. I never signed on for hunting Shivans. Don't kid yourself. We're the ones being hunted, pilot.
Command should shut down that portal and send the Aquitaine back to Deneb. We've got no business being out here.
If Command needs your opinion, they'll promote you to Admiral. Now shut up and focus.
My, there appears to be a bit of a mutiny amongst the pilots in these games. That's 2 in 5 missions.
All flights report in.
This is Iota 1. Sensors are picking up zilch, Command. We're flying blind out here.
Alpha 2 here. Nothing to report.
This is Zeta 1. All clear.
Kappa Wing, what's your status? Over? Kappa Wing, this is Allied Command. Please respond. Iota Wing, investigate Kappa's last waypoint. The ionized field is interfering with our transmission.
And everyone count along with me. That's 1, 2, 3, foreshadowing. We've been in the nebula, what, 2 minutes, and we've already managed to lose an entire fighter squadron and we don't know why. What the hell's going on here? Well, just going to have to keep going with it and make the best of it that we can, but I'm obviously hoping we don't run into another Lucifer-class destroyer or something like that out here, because how we plan on stopping something like that again, I have absolutely no idea. I mean, maybe beam cannons work, but I have no idea.
I'm picking up something on sensors. I can't get a lock. Hostile target!
Pilots, destroy those fighters and stay alert. Watch for a fighter maneuver.
No problem, Command. We'll take them down.
Well, Wing of Manticores isn't exactly the worst thing that could have happened. They're not exactly the most devastating Shivan fighter. They can be a pain sometimes, especially when you've not got any aspect lock weapons, but for the moment it'll do.
All bandits are down, Command. Area secure.
Resume your patrol, pilots.
There's gotta be a base or destroyer in this nebula somewhere. Those fighters couldn't survive out here on their own.
This nebula could be 10 or 20 light years in diameter. Finding a single ship would be impossible.
Unless the Shivans find us first.
Do we have a status update on Kappa Wing?
Negative. No word from Kappa yet. We'll find out in debriefing.
Oh yes, I'm sure we'll be told all about that in debriefing, just like we always are. The Shivans, I would imagine, yeah, they're probably hunting us here because I'm imagining that they can see us a lot easier than we can see them, especially if they're used to the nebula.
Hostile indicators on radar.
And it's just another wing of Shivan fighters, but they do have a point. If there are Shivan fighters in the nebula, you would expect there to be a capital ship of some description. And considering how superior Shivan capital ships were to GTVA capital ships in the Great War, I'd be a little bit worried about what's out there. I mean, obviously what we have now would be capable of pulverizing whatever the Shivans had in the Great War. However, you can't imagine that they've stood still for 30 years and they were already miles beyond us as far as technology went. Well, there goes Alpha 3, never mind. And here's one of the reasons why you try not to dogfight against manticores or other such ships, because it ends up taking quite a long time, especially when you don't have aspect-seeking weapons. Generally, you should try and avoid a dogfight when you're in Freespace 2, because it tends to drag you away from what the actual objective is. Fortunately, there's not a lot going on here, and these fighters will soon be taken down by my wingmates as well. I am using the Prometheus R, which I really shouldn't be doing. I think the laser is just better, the Subac HL7. I'm just using it to show it off here, and one of the reasons I thought was that in combination with the Tempest missile, is basically if something gets in front of me, it's going to die. That's the straight up feeling that I have behind it, because Shivan fighters are still pretty they're pretty flimsy overall, really. They don't really have the hull capacity that GTVA ships do, and with both sides having shields, it can be pretty much game over if any sustained firepower gets sent in their direction.
Okay, let's get back on patrol. Alpha, follow my lead.
Right behind you, Zeta 1. You go ahead and lead the way, please. I really want you being the first person to notice a swarm of dragons or something like that might be out there. Or a Lucifer or something along those lines. So you go ahead and take point. I don't mind whatsoever. Did I mention I think that being in the nebula is a really terrible idea? I mean, I suppose the GTVA thinks that at this point it might be able to technologically match the Shivans, but the Shivans seem to be a bit of an enigma. I mean, the first war, they were a little bit unpredictable what they could do, and they definitely had a superior technological advantage, but in this game you'll see how deep that particular rabbit hole goes.
Hold on. I got a visual on something big. A cruiser or a corvette.
Do you recognize the configuration? Is it a Rakshasa or a Kane?
Negative, Command. It's a Terran cruiser. Fenris class.
There's no Allied ship authorized in your vicinity. Hail them, pilot.
This is Zeta Wing of the 107th Ravens, GTD Aquitaine. Please identify yourself.
This is Captain Arthur Romig of the GTC Trinity. We have sustained heavy damage, and our jump drive is inoperative. We need immediate assistance.
Your designation is incorrect, Romig. Your ship defected to the NTF 10 days ago. You have been stripped of your rank and citizenship in the GTVA. Surrender the Trinity, or be destroyed.
As captain of the NTC Trinity, I surrender on the condition you get us the hell out of here.
What's your status?
We repelled the Shivan attack, but engines sustained critical damage. I powered down non-essential systems so the Shivans wouldn't detect us. We've been drifting ever since.
What's your assessment of the damage?
Some components were destroyed in the attack, but my chief engineer thinks a field repair is possible.
What were you doing out here, Romig?
As a prisoner of war, my rights are protected under the Beta Aquilate Convention. I will answer no questions, Command.
I thought rebels didn't recognize BATAC.
No, but we do, pilot. Damage control has been deployed. They should be arriving momentarily.
Discovery here, initiating docking procedure. Watch our backs, little friends.
Incoming jump signature. Hostile configuration.
Well, that was predictable, but as far as the incoming jump signatures, but what in the world is the Trinity doing here? How does the NTF have access to this nebula? This makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. What's going on? Yeah, I kind of figured that. Well, guess we'll have to see what the Trinity crew can tell us, assuming that we get them out of this situation. We better have, because if we don't, we're not going to get any sort of lead on what's happening with the NTF. And as you can see, if you get a decent lock on Manticores, they're pretty squishy overall. A couple of shots with the Prometheus and a few Tempest missiles is generally enough to knock them down.
Prepare to be boarded.
Trinity standing by.
Docking point secure. Okay, Romig, we're taking you and your crew into custody. Follow the drill and no one gets hurt.
Well, that's part 1 done. Let's see how long part 2 is going to end up taking, because I can see more blips on the horizon, so I'm going to head in that direction, and I'm going to try and take out some of them. Oh, Basilisk.
Keep the Shivans away from the Trinity, pilots. That ship won't survive another attack. Give us a time estimate, Discovery.
We can jury-rig a solution in 15 minutes, Command.
I don't think we're going to have 15 minutes, Discovery. There's Basilisks out there, and we're going to take them on as best we can. In fact, because Basilisks aren't that maneuverable, we're going to be able to take them down, but there could be more. Bad freeze there from the game, but I think I'm going to get this one down.
Can you bring the anti-fighter turrets online?
Yeah, I do apologise for the frame drop, but I believe that... Ow, I just shot my own fighter. I believe I've found a solution to it. You'll see it.
You need to buy us more time, pilots.
We're trying, Trinity, we're trying. I believe this is the last one. Yeah, so I think I may have found a way to get around the frame drop that I'm occasionally getting here. I think I've got a couple more videos recorded, and then I'll be implementing the solution as best I possibly can. Hopefully it's not too much of a deterrent, but the only deterrent it's been so far is when it happens when I'm trying to get in the middle of a fight. And dragons, we are screwed. We are absolutely screwed. And oh my god, a load of fighters have just warped in on top of the Trinity. You'll notice that they're not even on the objective screen, so this is a supposed to happen thing, but the Trinity is getting its ass kicked. That thing's going down, and I can't even take these dragons out. We're history.
We've lost the Trinity. All wings return to base. We're aborting this mission.
Well, considering it looks like at the moment we're 10 on 2, I'm going to get the hell out of here once I've made sure these dragons aren't coming back for me. This is not a good thing. Let's get the hell out of here before things get any worse. Don't have to tell me twice. Well, maybe you do.
You confronted an overwhelming Shivan force in a hostile environment. Under these circumstances, there was nothing you or anyone else could have done to save the Trinity and our boarding party. You were lucky to survive this sortie, pilot. We have heard nothing from Kappa wings since they vanished from our sensors. Unfortunately, we must presume the worst. They will be listed MIA unless we find evidence to the contrary. Our search parties have found no trace of these fighters. The presence of the Trinity deepens the enigma of the NTF's secret agenda. What was the Trinity doing out here? And what does Bosch know about the subspace portal? All patrols have uncovered an extensive Shivan force in the nebula. Command will deploy more warships through the subspace portal to assist with our mission of exploration and containment. Iota and Epsilon wings encountered 2 Shivan cruisers near our current location. When our reinforcements arrive, we will move against them.
Hey, so more nebula missions, huh? Well, unfortunately my primary and secondary skill just went through the floor again because I had no aspect seeking, but we'll try and improve things next time when we're going to go up against some Shivan cruisers. See you then.